But I'm telling you that if things go the way they're looking to go, Trump can end up in federal prison sooner rather than later. Hey guys, you want to hear about what's been going on with the Donnie, Donald Trump? We haven't talked about Donald Trump in a little while, but I think you guys may like this. It's been pretty interesting. So for a little while now, ever since the beginning of the year, Donald Trump has been embroiled in a lawsuit. Crazy, I know, right? But no, like this time it's actually serious. Like it's really serious. Some of you all may have remembered that a little while ago, I think late last year, Donald Trump was ordered to testify in a lawsuit against his firm and Trump Industries, Trump like retail, the retail branch of his company, and his number two and like head of his company that he left there back when he was president. Who's the guy that runs Wayne Industries when Batman's Batmaning? Well, it's something Fox, right? What's his name? Lucas Fox. Yeah, basically like Trump's version of Lucas Fox. The only difference is he's white and cringe and not cool and not smart. He was recently arrested and tried and convicted for fraud and stealing money tax fraud, specifically stealing money from New York and lying about like how valuable the properties they had were. He was devaluing the price of the properties on his taxes so they would pay less of a tax burden. That's called tax fraud. He was doing that purposefully, and the feds took him. And so as the rat that he is on the Trump ship, he organized with he spilled his guts out to the feds about like everything wrong Trump has ever done. And he's been embroiled in a couple of lawsuits for a little while because of that. So that's been kind of smoldering in the background on top of the last thing we talked about when it came to Trump, him stealing federal documents from the White House and then just kind of keeping them as mementos. Oh, also some of the documents going missing, and some of those documents possibly being related to foreign governments' nuclear capabilities, where they keep their missile silos and the state of their nuclear weapons and readiness, which is dangerous. But with all that being said, things have been kind of slowly ticking away in the background against him, and today has all culminated in something that I'm going to say is completely hilarious, but also a little bit dangerous, which is him saying that theorizing on Tuesday this week he will be arrested. He said that he was alerted by the judge and the grand jury and that was hearing one of the cases against him that he will be arrested. He basically made his final message and final plea to Trump fiends to come help him because things are not looking too good for him. Take a look at this. Our nation is now third world and dying. The American dream is dead. The radical left anarchists have stolen our presidential election, and with it, the heart of our country. American patriots are being arrested and held in captivity like animals, while criminals and leftist thugs are allowed to roam the streets, killing and burning with no retribution. Millions are flooding through our open borders, and many from prisons and mental institutions. Crime and inflation are destroying our very way of life. Page 2. Now illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan district attorney office, which has allowed new records to be sent in violent crime, whose leader is funded by George Soros, indicate that with no crime being proven and based on old and fully debunked by numerous other prosecutors fairy tale, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest, take our country back. Oh, what is happening? So as you can see, he's gone on a complete tangent. Why all caps? He's scared. He thinks he's gonna get Mussolini'd. That's why he's scared. It's all caps because you need to see this. He's like, they're gonna Epstein me. Hillary Clinton is going to make an order to the suicide hotline, and it's not gonna be good. Oh man. Gotta love it. Yeah, he had the little sprinkle of anti-Semitism in there. You need it. It's tasty. How is he going to make like a conspiracy rant screed without dropping a little bit of George Soros? It's Jover. It's so Jover. Stalin. Wait, he misspelled stolen, right? I can't even read this, bro. Killing and burning with no retribution. Yeah. Wait. The radical left anarchists have stolen our presidential election. Yo, they've done what? They've done what? Play USSR national anthem. He wants the bread. He wants the bread. This is crazy. And look at this. These, and apparently these are like pretty far apart. Wait, this was, he tweeted this at 6:55 a.m. Rolls over in bed. Tweets this at 6:55 a.m. And then he tweets this one at 7:26. These are like 30 minutes apart. Yeah, these are like 30 minutes apart. So he sends one, then like goes back to bed, and then they shake him. They're like, "Hey, Mr. President, you have to wake up." He's like, "Oh, okay, my bad, sorry." And then tweets this again. And you know he's like golfing now or something. I don't know, maybe he's cooped up in his room. I have no clue. But he thinks he's going to be arrested soon. He thinks he's going to be arrested soon. You think it took him 30 minutes to type it? Oh, you think it took him 30 minutes to type this one? So he started this at what, like 6:30? He was theory crafting it. He was theory crafting the tweet to make sure that it was as based as he wanted it to be. For once in my life, I hope he's right. You know what? Me too. Can you imagine how great it would be if this guy gets like ushered away from Mar-a-Lago in cuffs? That's crazy. That'd be crazy. All of his crimes coming back for him. Like tonight I'm going to be at the edge of my bed. Hello, Lord, it's me again. I'm glad to be talking to you. Please make this true. I beg of you, please. It would be so funny. Free Melania. No, her ass is gonna get fucking deported. Oh no, dude. Now, if you want to know where this came from, there are several lawsuits against Donald Trump at the moment. Tax fraud is one of them. Criminal liability for what happened on January 6th is another one, and the deaths that were incurred there. One of the most recent ones that have been talked about is this like January 6th one. And this is one of the ones that he's been incredibly scared about. So a little while ago, a couple months ago, actually like earlier this month, sorry, a lawsuit against him for his role in January 6th can proceed. Basically, he said that he like meets all immunity categories, as in like he can't be sued for anything. He basically filed to the court that said, I was president of the United States. You can't sue me for anything. I'm literally above the law. I can't be sued. And the court said, wrong and cringe L plus ratio, and said the lawsuit against him can proceed. Actually, what happened to Georgia, or did that case get tanked by that one lady on the jury? We'll talk about that in a bit. Yeah, it's not how that works, buddy. He was hoping that's how it works. He was hoping. The Justice Department told Federal Appeals Court on Thursday that it should reject Trump's claims that he has absolute immunity from being sued over actions related to the Capitol by his supporters on the 6th. Members of Congress and Capitol Police were contended in a lawsuit that Trump incited the attack, including by delivering a fiery speech, falsely claiming that the 2020 election was stolen, and urging his supporters to march to the Capitol. In a 23-page brief, lawyers in the Justice Department's Civil Division urged the appeals court to allow the lawsuit to proceed. So this one's been really bad for him. As well as that, is that another one that's been really bad for him has been the Stormy Daniels case that's been making its way through the court as well. So Stormy Daniels, if you remember, she's a mistress who he paid hush money to about the wrongdoings that he was up to, and now she's suing him as well. I thought she lost that. She lost it a while ago. She's filing another one that's a little bit different. Manhattan prosecutors met Wednesday with the adult film star Stormy Daniels as part of their long-running investigation into the $130,000 payment Trump made just before the 2016 election to silence the actress about a prior affair. At the request of the Manhattan DA's office, Stormy Daniels and I met with prosecutors today. Attorney Clark Brewster tweeted, Stormy responded to questions and agreed to make herself available as a witness for the further inquiry, for or for further inquiry needed. So this isn't her lawsuit. It's a lawsuit that they're thinking about filing, but she's going to be a big part of it because obviously she's the, main reason for why the lawsuit is even there in the first place, or they're even musing it. Slavinia. Remember when she went public about him having a small dick? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. He sold his dick to the devil. That's how he became the president once. It's crazy. It's crazy how it works out. On that as well, something that's been really popping off. Things that, like, a lot of lawsuits have been moving really slow against Trump, but recently things have been moving really, really fast. It's kind of how that works, right? Where in the justice system, things move like super slow until they don't anymore. And then they move really, really fast. So about 23 days ago, this happened. U.S. judge orders Trump deposed in lawsuits by former FBI officials. U.S. judge on Thursday ordered former President Donald Trump to be questioned in a pair of lawsuits against the Justice Department and FBI by former agency officials who alleged they were targets of an improper political pressure campaign by his White House. The U.S. District Judge Amy Berman Jackson decided that the FBI director, Christopher Wray, also must sit for a deposition by attorneys for the pair, who were among a group of FBI employees who exchanged text messages critical of Trump during the 2016 political campaign. The judge in the brief said that Trump should submit for 2 hours of questions on a narrow set of topics, that Wray should be questioned under the same limited parameters. Jackson gave President Biden until March 24 to decide whether to invoke executive privilege to limit the scope of the questions in the deposition. So this would be the second time in the last couple of months that Donald Trump would have been asked to testify for shit against him. Once again, his FBI was incredibly biased against other people and people who weren't specifically for everything that he did. They were like really hardcore on like cracking down on all sorts of dissent. But while Donald Trump was in office, you need to remember he was using the FBI as his own personal police. So that's the whole reason why he had like an acting attorney general, not a real attorney general that was confirmed by Congress, just so he could circumvent like rules, laws, and norms to be able to use the Justice Department and the FBI as his own personal political tool of destruction for his political enemies. See how well it worked out. If he was smarter, it may have been way worse. There should be federal mandates against this very thing. You're right. That should be so true. They should pass laws that make it so you can't do this. It's crazy why they don't. I wonder why. There are also 20 major lawsuits and investigations Trump is facing right now. Now that he left office, it's getting really fucking bad. If I'm going to be honest with you, like it's starting to get really, really bad. It's still not enough. I still think he's also being sued by those like young women, like what is it, like those baby Miss America pageant shows, when he would like crawl into their changing room and be like, I love you girls. You girls would be so beautiful. If you girls weren't babies, I'd be putting a baby in you right now. There's the Capitol riot in the 2020 election. Stop. You know, I mean, like he almost basically said that about his daughter.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird. Stop. You know what? You are sick.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
You're sick. Stop. They're like, yeah, he's like, I'd be fucking my daughter. I'd be raw dogging my daughter's asshole right now. And they're like, stop it. You're sick. And she's like, that's dad. He's a sick one, bro. Yo, dude, he's crazy. Bro's out of his mind. Yeah, I love it. They're like, stop it. Stop. He's like, hey, what can I say? I got that dog in me. Call me Fido, cause I'm a dog. What can I say? I've got bark and bite. Why did they let him cook? They're trying to take the spatula out of his hand right now. They're doing the best. They're doing the best they could. Bro just admitted to it. Give me an x-ray. I got that dog in me. Disgusting. Sitting next to his daughter. What a freak, dude. There are way more ways to say that your daughter is dateable. You know? I feel like fathers have been doing that for like as long as time has been around, like normal ways to say like, oh, you're like I love you, daughter, you're a beautiful young woman. Not I'd fuck your ass right now. Like that's too much. Way better words, way better ways to word that. I mean, it says a lot. I mean, like he dates girls his daughter's age, so you know how it is. He's being real. as much as I wish he wouldn't. As much as I wish he wouldn't. On July 2022, Trump's lawyers argued that he can't be sued. This is what we saw, and this got overturned recently. DC's Attorney General said that he's collaborating with federal prosecutors and investigators on investigating whether Trump's role violated any DC laws. Prosecutors in Atlanta, meanwhile, have focused on Trump's conduct before the riots, such as the now infamous tape of Trump arguing that Georgia Secretary Brad Raffensperger, a Republican, to find enough votes to overturn the state's election. This one's the most damning one, and I'm honestly surprised that he's not in jail for this one yet. There's a link to a video. I hope so.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state. I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. There's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong.
The president
Mr. President, I can't just forge votes for you. That's not really how this works. 11,000 votes is all. Come on, man, give me a break. Just a couple. All you need to do is print like a couple. Like you got 11,000 pieces of paper there somewhere, right? Just change the number, type it in. What is it? 4 numbers? 3? Something like you. I mean, like, come on. You guys know how to count. That's why you're down there, right? Come on, give me a break. Just do a little bit of a little switcheroo. You know what I mean? You can't move the ink from one to another. Just go, come on, just for me a little bit. Big AD crimes really should have heard in my entire life. Mr. President, you are wrong. Dude's crazy. Just a couple of tweets. Oh man, back when he was on Twitter.
The president tweeted that Raffensperger was unwilling or unable to answer questions about this. The secretary responded, "The truth will come out." On Capitol Hill, a dozen Republicans are preparing to challenge the Electoral College results, and they're facing backlash from their own party.
But POV, you are a goofball and a dumbass, and trying to L plus fascist plus ratio, if I must say. Ed and Eddie level schemes. Yeah, listen, all he needs is a quarter. Oh, you won't steal the election for me? What about for a quarter? Listen, Brad, I can make all of this go away. All I need is a quarter. A fucking goofball. He's too stupid. Holy. Give his ass a jawbreaker. Hey, listen, that's what Trump wanted to do to him if he didn't find the votes. Would you do it for a Scooby snack? In 2023, a grand jury impaneled in the Georgia investigation concluded its work, leaving a potential charging decision in the hands of local prosecutors. Trump had continued to defend his call to Raffensperger as perfect without any basis that it and claimed that without any basis the Georgia election was stolen. Dude's fucking insane. Federal officials continue investigating Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, though they haven't prosecuted him directly yet. Instead, subpoenaed and searched numerous associates. January 6th committee has recently concluded its work and recommended federal charges. So there's like 20 whole lawsuits that are coming down against him at the moment, and all of them look pretty bad, if I'm going to be honest with you. Like, all of them look really, really, really bad. Also, the NAACP is also suing Trump, accusing him and his campaign and Republican and the RNC of attempting to overturn the election, violating the Voting Rights Act and Reconstruction era Ku Klux Klan Act. Yeah, there you go. The group is also representing members of Congress in their own suit against the president in 2022, and federal court ruled in favor of NAACP, allowing them to file an amended complaint against the former president. So a lot of these are in their infancy, but they're kind of ticking away, and they're acting as a real albatross around this kid's neck. Also, sexual harassment, because when it comes to a Republican, you gotta have some sexual abuse in there. When it comes to issues with them, you gotta. He's also facing these types of issues. Former Elle magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll accuses the president of R-wording her, assaulting her, in a New York department store in the mid-90s. Trump says she is totally lying. The allegation prompting a defamation suit. Didn't that defamation suit get dropped? Here, wait, let me see. The DOJ has argued that an appeal that Trump shouldn't face the suit. What the hell? As his comments were related to the work as a federal employees and concerned his fitness for office. The case remains pending in federal appeals court, and Ms. Carroll filed a new lawsuit against Trump under a new New York state law passed in 2022, which gives adult victims of sexual assault a one-time opportunity to file a civil lawsuit past the normal statute of limitations. The trial for defamation is set in April. Oh man, Ku Klux Klan. No, she's like totally wrong. She's like totally lying. All she does is talk. He claimed that he never met the woman before, which that's a lie. Business and fraud cases, these ones are pretty nasty too. Former president's sprawling business empire is another target for legal action. The Manhattan District Attorney led a criminal investigation against Trump for more than a year over hush money payments that he paid to Stormy Daniels. Top Trump associates, including his former banker and longtime accountant, have reportedly been interviewed as a part of the investigation. Mr. Bragg's team has also spoken recently with Trump's former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen. Cohen is still on the. Remember when Cohen was like arrested and then he was like found? Has he been found guilty? I think he has. He was found guilty. The dude's still like spilling the beans on Trump. You guys may have forgotten, but it's been like, what has it been, like 2 years, 3 years since he's been giving information to the feds on Trump? Cohen intimidated Daniels, right? Yeah, Cohen intimidated Daniels. Yeah, Cohen was the lawyer, his fixer guy, who was the one who he signed the check to Daniels for the hush money. Yeah, he was in jail for a while. Was he? Well, he was in custody for a while, but I don't think he's been sentenced for his crime yet because he keeps giving them more information. So they keep letting him stay out of jail. And they're weighing on like how much to reduce the sentence as he keeps on giving shit to Trump. It's like a gold, like spilling his guts to the feds is like a gold mine for him. There's 20 lawsuits that he's like over and over and over. Yeah, I got another one. Like a lawsuit comes up against Trump for his time when Michael Cohen was his lawyer, and Michael Cohen's like, I got one more in me. I got one more in me. They thought I was done. I got one more in me. I got no problem. Listen, I know everything about this guy. Just let me know. Hey man, I don't want to be in jail. You guys don't want to put me in jail. Come on, hit me. Another one. I got one more in me. 20 lawsuits, make it 21. Hi, Stinko. I am busy. I'm busy clowning on the former president, Stinko. You don't understand the concept of presidents. You can't even vote. Thank you. Do not knock your head into my desk. You will hurt yourself. The guy who was investigating Trump in the Manhattan's office was succeeded by Alvin Bragg. Bragg's team also spoken with Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen, who's expected to meet with attorneys for the porn star known as Stormy Daniels. The Manhattan DA's office also began presenting evidence to a grand jury in January, a sign of potential charges decisions is near. Since then, prosecutors have offered Mr. Trump a chance to appear before a grand jury and indicated he may soon face indictment. Also in January, the Trump organization was fined $1.6 million for tax fraud. You hate to see it. And what New York prosecutors described was a tax scheme that stretched on for more than a decade. Perhaps the most consequential threat of all comes from the New York Attorney General, I don't want to mispronounce her name.
Letitia James.
Letitia James. I'm so sorry. The reason why I just stopped and I didn't keep trying, because I was so close to saying Lolita James. And I was so close. And I was just like, I gotta let the robot do this one for me. The like slight dyslexia was kicking up. I'm still recovering from the dildo Nazi stream. I had to read that entire article like 3 times and 2 other articles to see if I was going to miss any information. If it was scarring for you, just imagine how scarring for me it was. I had to keep reading it. I couldn't just leave the stream. I am the stream. On the 21st of September 2022, she filed a bombshell $250 million lawsuit against Trump and 3 of his children, accusing them of perpetrating the art of the steal. Oh yeah, I forgot about this girl. She's got bars. I forgot about that. It's like every time she talks about Trump, she's like she pulls out a new like anti-Trump meme that riffs on the things that he says. I forgot about that. All he does is do the art of the steal as he steals money from hardworking New Yorkers. Through a litany of fraudulent business practices, the AG's office has been investigating for years. Mr. Trump has called it politically driven witch hunt. The probe won a major victory in federal court. A federal court judge was appointed to monitor part of Trump organization's financial activities while the case played out. The tentative trial date for the New York suit was set for the beginning of October. Alan Garden, general counsel for the Trump organization, has previously said that all Trump business practices are above board. Everything was done in strict compliance under the law. Finally, a group of anonymous people have filed a class action lawsuit against the Trump family and businesses, arguing that they use the Trump brand to scam investors into paying for worthless business ventures. Mr. Trump is appealing the suit as well. Holy. Oh, and there's other suits and cases as well that are around. Oh yeah, the former president's niece has accused Trump of defrauding her of millions of dollars of inheritance. Hate to see it. Texas attorney named John Antonio Castro filed a suit against Trump, seeking to have him declared ineligible to seek the White House under the 14th Amendment, and then like a bunch of other like little stuff that's around. But one of the big ones that we talked about not too long ago, in January, Trump, remember those lawsuits that we just talked about that he filed against the attorney's office, saying that they're like playing games and don't really care about what's going on. He actually revoked all of those. He pulled both of them to stop James from being able to get any of his shit. That didn't work, so he just withdrew them because it was going to be a massive waste in time and money and time that he may not have, if I'm going to be honest with you, with how bad things are looking for him. And then recently, and this is today, Trump's attorney was ordered to testify before a grand jury. In a monumental ruling Friday, a federal judge ordered Trump's attorney Evan Corcoran, incredible names, Corcoran, to provide. You know what he sounds like? He sounds like the name of an alien from Ratchet and Clank, or like a planet. Oh yeah. Where are we going next, Gadget? I don't know, man. He said that we have to go to planet Corcoran next to get our grav boots. Oh no. To provide additional testimony as part of an investigation into former president's handling of classified documents, a source familiar with the matter told CNN. I told you guys, I made a tweet. I was like, this may be the end of Trump. This stuff is getting really bad. If I'm going to be honest with you, this is getting like really, really bad. This like documents kerfuffle has not been done yet. They're still on his ass. and it's honestly heating up. Yeah, all while he's running for president, or at least attempting to. At least he says he is. The scope of what the DOJ is allowed to ask, however, is not immediately clear. Trump's team is expected to appeal, and as for the judge's order be stayed while legal proceedings play out. The decision hands Trump yet another L under the under seal in court, as his team and allies have tried to hold off Smith's investigations from learning about direct conversations that the former president had with some of his closest advisors. The development is particularly notable because of accusations prosecutors would have made about Trump as they argued to the judge and jury testimony. A Trump spokesman said the ruling was a violation of due process. Corcoran, an attorney turned witness, had previously testified to the grand jury but declined answers of some questions, citing attorney-client privilege. The department argued that the judge should not be able to that he should not be able to avoid answering because his decisions with the former president may be part of an attempt to plan a crime. That's crazy. Do they think he's like plotting against the fucking US government? I'm going to be honest, and not in a cool way, in a really cringe and evil way. Shit's insane. So the L's keep piling up. And then on this, I think, my bad. Yeah, and yesterday, things just keep getting worse. So he was forced to like come back to testify in front of a grand jury again. And then yesterday, this happened where the federal judge hands over Trump's lawyer's notes to the DOJ. On her final days as the top judge in the District of Columbia on Friday afternoon, in her final act, Chief Judge Beryl A. Howell did more than grant the Justice Department permission to question former Trump's attorney. She actually took a rare step of handing over the lawyer's notes to federal prosecutors, according to a person familiar with the argument. Judge was like, you guys got to see this shit, and handed them notes to the feds. Holy dude, it's so over. I've never seen something that's on a scale to 1 to over. This is definitely Jover. He can smile all he wants with the pain. I don't think he's coming back from this one. If I'm going to be completely honest with you, I don't think he's coming back from this one. In doing so, Howell may have planted the seeds for a future constitutional challenge, but in the immediate term, she handed the Justice Department Special Prosecutor Jack Smith a parting gift, what she deemed as evidence of a crime involving the former president improperly hoarding classified documents after he left office. Corcoran, the former federal prosecutor, has represented Trump in the classified documents case as well. According to a source, Corcoran's professional notes about the private communications with clients were turned over to the judge, who was conducting an in-camera review, carefully controlled screening of the confidential records that typically takes place in the judge's chambers. The judge who's come to the conclusion that some legally protected and sensitive material must be turned over to an opposing side, normally issue an order directing the side to do it, along with a deadline. Doing so gives the losing side the ability to appeal to a higher court and prevent irreversible damage that could forever taint the case, according to two lawyers not involved in the case who spoke to the Daily Beast but asked not to be identified. But Howell appears to have skipped that careful yet tedious approach and just handed Smith a batch of documents that may show Trump and one of his lawyers planned a crime. Either way, Trump's legal team is left without recourse, and federal prosecutors have more evidence to bolster the next steps of their ballooning investigation. It's longer, dude. So apparently, what she saw when looking over these documents from Trump was so bad that she couldn't even like wait to show it to people. She was like, you guys got to see this shit. and like sent it over instantly. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She was like, I can't let them run away from this one. They have to see this one. And this all culminated with why Donald Trump says that he believes he's going to be arrested soon. Like these documents that he had between him and his lawyer must be so incredibly damning on the classified document case that he thinks that it may be his time may be up. His luck may have run out. The man with 9 lives has no lives left, and his capital letter demand to take our nation back. I think this is honestly him being like, we need to do another January 6th to stop this. Guys, get yourself killed for me. Please get yourself killed for me. I'm begging you. You need to do it. Come on. Put your life on the line. You say you're on the Trump train. It's time to hop off. It's time for you all to get off and push. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you gonna have Jan 2 Electric Boogaloo on Tuesday? I don't know. It's like the Trump, a lot of the people who were going to be doing that type of stuff, they're still sitting in federal prison at the moment. And I'm not sure if enough people genuinely care that much about Trump still to be able to go out there and protest like that. Now he has just a bunch of keyboard warriors. Not that many people out there are like, it's hard to do it again. It's like a Charlottesville riot type thing, you know, where there's like one big push to do that type of stuff. And it's kind of hard to be able to get that same energy again. The big leaders are in jail. People are scared to get in trouble, and not a lot of them think it was worth it, and nothing came from it before, and nothing's going to come from it this time either.
Let it go, Michael.
Thank you all again for spending so much time waiting. Let me just say that I'm relieved that my role is now, for the time being, over. I have complied with every request that was asked of me by the district attorney's office so that they could review this case as best as they possibly can. And at the end of the day, I complied with everything, and now it's in the hands of our district attorney, Alvin Bragg, and his competent team. Michael, this isn't a question of vindication. It's not a question, as I stated before, about revenge. My position is that at the end of the day, Donald Trump needs to be held accountable for his dirty deeds, if in fact that's the way that the facts play out.
I love how he talks like a comic book New Yorker. You know what I mean? He talks exactly like how everybody thinks New Yorkers talk. What if Trump, you know, before they try to arrest him, oh, you think you think he might do pull a little you know what I mean? He may pull a little yoinky splinky type thing. He may just pull a Houdini, a little disappearing act type thing. I didn't have this on my 2023 bingo card with him getting arrested. Are you saying he might pull a redacted? I don't think he'd redacted. I think he has too much pride and he's too stupid. I think he has way too much pride to redact himself, to TOS himself. At the end of the day, I'm walking E. Thank you. Ushered back to his cell. I did not see the mid-journey perp walk. The AI generated Trump perp walk. No, I haven't seen that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he thinks Trump's post on Senator Eckers last summer, where he broke the news on Truth Social that the FBI was searching his Florida home. Yeah, so this may be over for the boy. He may not come back from this one. I don't know. We're going to have to see. He's been able to wiggle out of a lot, but a lot of these nooses are very much tightening around his neck, and it's not good. What the hell? I don't like this. People have started to try different memes on like AI generated images. Like look at this. This is an AI generated image. So this is supposed to be an AI generated Trump perp walk. I don't even know how the fuck my perp talk. And basically he said make it like news footage to make it look like it's a screenshot from a CNN broadcast or something. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That's way too close. You know it's fake because this cop here has like a huge dumpy. He has like Miriko from My Heroes type thighs, and Trump has like 2 fingers, one big finger here and then a thumb. Scroll up, there's Putin on trial too. What the hell? Oh my gosh. What is this guy? Is this guy dead? Is that Stephen Hawking in the back? Who is that? Oh my goodness. Yeah, we all know Trump can't walk straight. Come on. This guy, he's getting so arrested. It's so Jover for this guy. That's so funny. Hey, I mean, you may not have to. Oh, this is 2 days before he said that he's gonna get arrested. That's crazy. That's crazy. He predicted it. A local Twitter user predicts Donald Trump being arrested and thrown in jail and dying. Crazy how that works. Well, L Trump. Isn't that right, chat? Can I get an L Trump in chat? Common Trump L. OMG thighs. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.